Let's get industrial today. Hello, I'm Francisco and this is What? A history show. So it's one of my most popular videos, so you've probably seen my video about industrialization and capitalism. If not, it's right here. It's short, it's sweet, it's conceptual, you'll like it. However, some feedback I got about that video is that it never really goes into the Industrial Revolution, which is probably the actual topic for history class that video is relevant for. And I understand that, honestly. Frankly, it's a little difficult to give a straight answer to what the Industrial Revolution is. I know, because as a teacher, I kind of avoided doing that for like 2 years. Happens. And the reason is, it's actually not a revolution like, say, the French Revolution or the Mexican Revolution, where you can say it started here, it ended here. These were the clear consequences, because the Industrial Revolution was actually a series of technological changes that allowed for production and consumerism to become extremely efficient. First, by replacing hand production methods with machines, and later, by bringing these machines and the technology they used as close to consumers, that's us, as possible. See what I did there? Straight answer. You're welcome. Now, in terms of the when and where and who, the Industrial Revolution is a little more difficult. In general, we can say that the substitution of hand production with machines started happening around the 1750s in Great Britain, when they began to solidify their cotton-centered industrial machine. Say that with me, cotton-centered industrial machine. What I mean by this is not an actual specific machine, but the whole dynamic where they imported cotton produced by slaves in North America, produced fabrics in their factories in industrial towns like Manchester, and then sold the fabric to their colonies, notably India. The Second Industrial Revolution can be placed about 120 years later in the 1870s, and it's more related to the widespread adoption of technology like electricity and sewage systems, and so on, and how they become adopted by regular people like us. At this point, it's not just Great Britain, but other countries like Germany and the United States, Japan, and not just industrial cities, but other cities like New York and London and Frankfurt, also becoming the centers of economic life in their own countries, making rich people want more comfortable living situations in cities, and thus creating public services like running water and easily available electricity, which is exactly what allows me to make this video and allows you to watch it. The main difference between the First and Second Industrial Revolutions, and the reason history teachers tend to separate them, although the timeline is not super clear, is that although technological innovation did happen in both, it had a different spin in each one of them. In the First Industrial Revolution, technological innovation was mostly directed at two things: scientific discoveries and improving engineering processes. This means that regular people didn't really have anything to do with technological innovation in the First Industrial Revolution. It was mostly scientists making discoveries and rich capitalists, also known as the industrial bourgeoisie, taking advantage of those discoveries to make money. However, in the Second Industrial Revolution, technological innovation actually started reaching regular people and changing the way they work and live their regular lives. Suddenly, the revolution is not just a scientist discovering how to use electricity and a business person taking advantage of that electricity to get a machine to do the work that 8 people had to do before. It's both the business owner and the worker being able to go home through streets that are lit with electric lamps, and very likely to a house with running water and available electricity. And the consequences of this is that people like us can sit at home making a video or watching a video on an electric device while sipping coffee that came all the way from the other side of the world and was made with water that we didn't have to go to any wells for. Now, are there winners and losers in the Industrial Revolution? Yes, and they are pretty difficult to ignore in this day and age.
Profitable. The chairman of H&M is the 28th richest person in the world, and the co-founder of Zara is the 4th richest person in the world. That means people who own oil fields are worth less than the guy who makes distressed jean shorts.
According to a published report, these children aged 10 to 13 were working as virtual slaves, stitching embroidered shirts for Gap kids.
There's no fire extinguisher, no fire exit. It's just a shack in someone's backyard. How old are you? How long have you been working here?
Some people actually say the Industrial Revolution is still happening, but we've just kinda gotten used to it, which is awkward. What do you think? Is the Industrial Revolution still happening, or is it just a kinda confusing chapter from your history class? Food for thought. I hope you learned something. See you next time. Where you can... Oh god. Sorry.